Hello, how are we? Matt back again with the next episode of the Monchi method with Olympique Marseille. We're at a bit of a chokehold in the season. You can see just on the base of it there, we've dropped down from third position. We had quite a comfortable gap over Monaco, Nice, and especially Guingamp at one point, and we're now well in the thick of it. So I thought this is probably going to be the best time to to talk about what I want to talk about, which is um, we need to identify the problems within the team and what is going wrong. And the best way of doing that is through looking at statistics. You can see here we've won 3 out of the last 7, I think it is, which is awful. We've just fell off a cliff. And you can see before that, goal wise, 3-3-2, 5-2, and this sort of falls off. Then we score 4, and then it's 1-1-1, 3-0. So we're not scoring enough. I don't think there's anything wrong with the tactic at all. What we need to look at is creativity. We need to look at whether um, players are finishing the chances. So we're going to look at XG and whatnot, and we're going to take it from there and have a little look through. We'll just look at the base value of it for now. The squad itself, we've just got Mo Darami back. He's had quite a long-term injury, so he's just getting back to full fitness, which will help. What we want to look at is our key metrics section. Um, so yeah, we're not scoring. We're not necessarily conceding a lot as well. If you have a little look there, it's 1 or 2 goals. I've noticed, or just none in some cases. I've noticed this game, the game. Obviously, we lost that. Of course, we were going to lose that at home. Um, we ended up just having to go for it because they nicked a goal on the counter attack. And then Roker ended up getting another one because we pushed men forward, and that was it. They just put men behind the ball then. But yeah, look, we're not conceding many, so I don't think it's a problem with the defence. And I actually think if you look at Odero and his average rating, he actually performs quite well. He came in as Mandanda went out to Saudi Arabia. He was offered silly money to go over there, so I couldn't really stand in his way. Odero, we scouted, you saw in the last episode. He got put onto the definitely buy list, and he was bought in for 6.25 million. You can see he's only conceded 11 and 10 with 3 clean sheets. He's actually a really good goalkeeper, so I'm happy with him. I don't think it's a defensive problem. I think it's more up front. I don't really need to drill down too much into the defensive stats to prove that you're seeing from the schedule screen it's 1 or 2 goals. If that, it's mainly 1 goal. But there's a lot of nil-nils in there, so we're not scoring goals. So the best way of finding it is obviously through statistics. I had a little look yesterday, and this table graph you'll see is key passes per 90 versus shots on targets per 90 in League 1. And you can see there's your average line. All these guys are really underperforming. This is a saved one, so it's not a live one, so we can't like drill down even more into it. But you can see based on the way the graph is and the arc of it, Flo Tuvan is actually the most creative player if you take shots and key passes into effect. Which, if we go and look into his stats again, Flo Tuvan, his key passes per 90 is 2.7. His shots on target per 90 is 2.63. However, with Tova, he scored 5 goals. Assist wise, though, I think he's only got one. Oh god, I need to add assists into there. Insert column. So that's general. I think it is on this. Yeah, assists. And then we want to drag that into there. And yeah, I'm happy with that. But yeah, you can see Flo Tuvan then. He's got 1 assist. So that's suggesting he's definitely an attacking force in terms of that he gets the goals. I mean, you can see in his last 5 games we've not been performing, but he has got a goal, but he doesn't assist much. I don't know why, because he's got very good crossing, he's got very good passing, good technique, really good vision. In terms of like an inside or an inverted winger, he should be able to pick the runs out that we make. Um, but he's just not doing that at the minute. If we go back and take a little look and compare him, so Danjuma plays and Jonathan Bamba, and then we'll talk a little bit about Patrick Schick in a minute. Um, but if we just look at the face value of the wingers, Tovan has played nearly double the minutes of Jonathan Bamba. He's obviously scored more goals, but Bamba's got more assists. His assists per 90 minutes is 0.07, and Danjuma, look again, it's the wingers that just aren't creating. Whereas Jonathan Bamba tends to get a few assists on the end. He's not played as much as the other two, but I mean, goal wise, it's comparative. His XG, he's well up there with what his XG is suggesting, and his chances created are quite good. His key passes aren't as good though. So I mean, I think the best thing to do for it is to probably just make a little live table just to show you. We wanted to talk about Patrick Schick because Patrick Schick, it's normally this now, and this is what we have been playing for most of the season. Is this formation? Obviously, the formation hasn't changed. The tactic hasn't changed much. We may have to change it based on I don't know why that's on. Based on how the team's performing and whatnot. But this is what we've been running with, and Patrick Schick has been playing as an inside forward. If we just take a little look at him here, and we look at like his XG is 12.16, but he's only scored 9 goals. I say only. He's a very good return. I mean, Schick was a £5 million signing, and he's done very well. I'm happy with him. Um, but if we look at his form, if we can do, if you look at him when he's playing as a forward, he doesn't score many. So that I can see just looking on the face of it, there's one, two, three, 4 goals as an advanced forward. These were friendly games, so let's ignore them. So there's 3 goals as an advanced forward. If we then go and look at him as an inside forward, he's got 2, he's got 3. He then got an assist and a goal, making it 4. He just seems to perform better out on the wing. And I'm not too sure what it is because if you look, I've got him training there now, so it's saying he's best suited for that. If you look at his attributes, the only thing I can think of, you can see this here. Um, these are all the attributes needed to play as an advanced forward in the attack position. He's got very, very, very good traits. I always add traits to players because they add such value. He places his shots, he plays 1-2s, he tries tricks, and he cuts inside from the right wing. Because of the tactic we play, you can't really play 1-2s because there's not many people that get in and around the same area. We don't have a number 10. So you can't really play a 1-2 off anyone. Tries tricks. He's not got a lot of room to do it because obviously with us being a high reputation team, teams tend to sit in. So he's not got the room to sort of to open his legs up and try these tricks. He has got really good flair, as you can see. He's got good dribbling, good technique. He's got good agility. He's got good balance. So he can do it. Places shots as well as a striker. I personally go for shoots with power, and Patrick already had places shots when we got him, but he's also got cuts inside from the right wing. So if we click on this and then we highlight inside forwards, you can see it takes his decision making away, and that's not to say that he doesn't have decisions to make, but it creates a bit more freedom for him within a tactic. Again, I'm just going to show you this now. If we click on, I love this little feature, the little description. You can see there his main duty is to lead the line. His primary duty is to be the focal point of attacking moves and is required to both score and create, but his secondary is to chase down misplaced through balls. Um, his work rate's not amazing. He's got 11 work rate. Sorry, that's Motorami. Schick, to be fair, he has got good work rate. I'm chatting nonsense here. He just doesn't seem to be able to do it, and I think it might be his decision making because he's required to create um, and lead the line himself. Whereas if you look at the inside forward, he aims to cut inside from the flanks and run directly at the centre of the opponent's box and works best with players strongest foot as opposite the flank he's playing. That's what he does. He's got flair, he's got good agility, good balance, whatnot, and he tries tricks. He also places his shots, and I think this is why he's been doing so well in that position, because he's cutting in diagonally across the box. I've just got that flashback from Harry Potter when he shouts Diagon Alley. He cuts in Diagon Alley. Um, and he's placing his shots into the back of the net. Now, I think that might be what it is. Um, the movement can open up space for overlapping fullbacks, which it does because Emerson gets forward and bombs on, and he gets a few assists himself, as well as overloading a retreating defender. Because we have Modarame, and he also has good off the ball, he's very fast, he's got decent anticipation, and he moves into these channels. The defender gets occupied by the Rami more often than not, which allows Schick in, um, which is why Schick is playing in that position. So, based on the whole of that, if we then just go back to the squad again, and then we say, the little table graphic is suggesting that Flo Tuvan is the most creative player in the league, or one of. If we then just highlight the two, you can see minutes wise, obviously Schick's played more. Tovan was out injured for a little while. Shots on target per 90. It's not necessarily comparative because Patrick Schick has played up front, but he's got a lot more. His goals per 90 is higher. He's got 10 goals. Tovan's got 5. He's got a higher XG. He's performing more to the XG as a winger, as we've seen, or as an inside forward. He doesn't complete as many passes, which you'd expect because Tovan's more creative. Chances created per 90 is not as much though. That's that's one of the things we've got to look out for. However, you can see Patrick Schick has actually got 5 assists, so it's really interesting. Um, we've been sticking with Tovan playing for the majority of the games because Tovan is, one of the best players at the club, and obviously Durami's been out injured. Can we just see how long he's been out injured for? History, injuries. So he strained his hamstring against PSG and was out for 4 weeks. If you look at the schedule then and we go to the PSG game, which was this one, no? Yeah, it was this one. And you have a little look. So that's when he went out injured. The next game was only a 1-0, and Matthias Phaeton played up front, but you can see we played Schick on the wing, but again, it was a win. Neem, Schick played up front, missed the penalty, scored a goal. This is when Tovan came back into it. You can see in these past couple of games, so Strasbourg, PSG, and Nîmes, Tovan didn't play. Look at Montpellier, Tovan plays, Patrick Schick has a stinker. You look at Auxerre, Tovan plays, Tovan gets a goal. Patrick Schick plays a little bit better. He got the assist in that game. Go to Lorient, Tovan has a stinker, Schick plays well, but there was an own goal in that game, and then Ducouré got the late winner. Gingamp again, Patrick Schick plays on the wing, Phaeton plays wide, but we just had an absolute shocker in general. Lons, we played really well again. Look at these, like 7.7s in the middle. Good goalkeeper, good right back. Patrick Schick plays, Mohamed Darami comes back from injury, not really complementing each other well enough. And then we look at Saint Etienne. Patrick Schick plays up front, gets himself a goal. Flo Tuvan has an absolute stinker. But what we're going to do now, we're going to make a live table. I do have this view on the squad view, which I can do. What should I do with that one? Does that show their age and whatnot? We don't really care about the age. We know Tovan's in his 30s. Yeah, okay, we'll do it this one. So what you want to do is we want to print to a web page. Okay, that. I have got a nice little Football Manager scouting tab. And then, no. Oh, okay, it's untitled now. And then what you want to do, I'm going to leave a link to this actually. I'm not going to show you it. I'm going to leave a link to this video. Steinkelsen, or as you guys may have heard in previous videos of mine, Matty Lewis, has now started YouTube. He's the person who basically got me into not playing Football Manager this way, but using the table graphic to identify certain things. He's made a video on how to do that. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description. Please go and check him out. It's his first video on YouTube, but it's so It's just so informative, and his blog with OGC Nice is absolutely fantastic. So please go check that out. I'm going to pause you there. I'm going to knock this table up, and we'll be back in a second. Right, so we're back. We have made a lovely little table. We tried to keep the colours in keeping with Marseille. But you can actually see now that it's key chances created per 90 minutes versus key passes per 90. Here's the lovely little average line here. So all these guys are performing below average, which Abdoulaye Corey being down there is quite concerning. But he plays as a box-to-box midfielder. He's kind of more like a destroyer for me. But you can actually see here, creative players. Monchi is just superb. Key chances is 2.84 and his key passes is 5.13. If we just jump back on FM here, we look at Monchi. He's only got 5 assists, but he's just a brilliant little. He's a DLP, Monchi. That's the position we play him in. He was originally on loan. Well, he is on loan. We managed to sign him on a free from Barca. He's actually outperforming Fausto Vera. And Fausto Vera is worth 44.5 million, and Monchi's worth 2.5 million. So it's a bit of a headache to have. But again, you can see the most creative players. You've got Emerson, you've got Arnold Danjuma, Alejandro Pozuelo, but he's out on loan, and Flo Tuvan. So Monchi is like a league of their own when it comes to creating chances in the squad. I'm just going to pop out this here. We're gonna add. Let's pop minutes in there as well, just so you can see. They'll pop up when I highlight, and yeah, we'll change it in a minute to look at assists per 90, or just assists in general. Let's just pop actual assists in there and actual goals. So again, we'll go presentation view. So Monchi has got himself his 5 assists, got a couple of goals. He's creating the most chances. Arnold Danjuma then, he's only got 1 assist, but he's creating roughly a chance per game, which is, it's nearly on par with Emerson, who's creating just over 1 chance per game, which has led to him getting his 6 assists. This to me would dictate that Arnold Danjuma, he just has to play Flo Tuvan again. But if you look, it's so strange. I can't quite figure out why Patrick Schick is outperforming Flo Tuvan. Because in a way, they just shouldn't be. His chances created is less than 0.1. His key passes is 1.4. Tovan's key passes is 2.7. So it's really interesting. It's really. This is why I like playing the game this way, because it gives me something to think about. So, is it a case then that Tovan is more wasteful, which is why he's not creating it, or is it a case that the players in front of him aren't up to his standard, when it comes to getting in and around the box and getting into those spaces that are going to create a goal scoring opportunity? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to offset it. I'm tempted to try Tovan as an inside forward rather than as a winger, because he does like to shoot. So if he's cutting in and just smashing it, I'm quite happy with that. But again, it's that case of where does that leave Patrick Schick? Where does that leave Modarame? I think almost certainly, like we said, Danjuma has to be the just the number one on the team sheet when it comes to the wingers. Other players, this Luis Enrique, this is again why we do it. You can see he's outperforming Jonathan Bamba, but he's played a lot more than Bamba, and there's not much in it. 2 goals, 2 assists for Bamba, 3 goals, 3 assists for Enrique. Enrique is currently out on loan. He's a 21-year-old Brazilian winger. Where are we, Luis? I think he's at Hanover in the Bundesliga. He is. Very good attributes. He's an inside forward too. If we bring him back in, I would definitely like to add the traits that Patrick Schick has. I want him to maybe place his shots. He's got good technique. He's not got the best finishing, but the technique for place his shots, it sort of outweighs the finishing. placing his shots, cutting inside, trying tricks. He's definitely someone that's going to come back in the summer and be in and around the first team. So that leads us to that. The next question then, let's pop Schick back up from for now. Let's pop Tovan back in. We'll let Durami keep coming back from his injury. Flew Tovan, you are going to be inside forward. And you're quick, aren't you, Tovan? Yeah, 15-15. Okay, so he is going to play as the attack option. Danjuma will drop down to a support option. And the next step then is this box to box midfield role doing the job? If we jump back onto the table, and let's just pop out of that for a second. Let's mix this up then. So it's chances created and key passes we've got at the minute. Let us remove that and remove that. Let's have a little look then at shots per 90 versus minutes. Let's do it that way. I'm just going to show you a little bit live of this. A little bit live. So, 0 minutes to, let's do 2,500. I'm happy with that being 0 to 0. Average line's going to get plonked in just there. Entire view. Here we go again. So we're looking at the shots per 90 and the minutes. Patrick Schick gets so many shots per 90, 4.2 shots per 90, which is it's more than Durami. Look at Durami. He has got 7 goals, but he gets 3.2 shots off. Flotovan again, you can see is up there. Kaleta Carr is on the near post off corners, which is why he gets that. But most interestingly, this is another one of the things that I'd identified when I was doing the background for the video. It's Kikas, who's actually out on loan in Portugal. He was brought in to the club before I arrived. We swiftly made the decision that we were going to bring Matthias Phaeton in, and I can't even see Matthew on here. Look at this. So he gets a lot of shots off. He gets 3.2 shots off. And he's not playing as many minutes. So if Phaeton was playing as many minutes, he could potentially be above the average here. So Kikas has got what? How many minutes has he played? 2,100? 2,100 minutes to 638 minutes. So again, it's then the question of Phaeton or Schick. To be honest with you, I think on the face of it, it's Schick all day long. That's the other thing. Schick he's a better striker than Matthias Phaeton. Although we do love Matty. He was amazing for Gingham. He's come in, he's only scored like 3 goals for us. You look on the face value of it, there's not an awful lot between them attribute wise. But then when you start drilling down into like the mentals and whatnot, so there you go. Look, yeah, you can just see it. Just an all-round better striker of a ball as Patrick Schick. But then you look at this. This is the interesting thing. Because we don't have pass completion ratio on the table, you can see his pass completion's higher and his key passes is a lot higher. So this is per 90 minutes. It's a really strange one, Matty Phaeton, because I think he could potentially be like a solid league in striker. He just doesn't seem to do what he's needed to do. But he performs to like a decent standard, like a 6.7 is okay for a backup player. You can see his traits. He runs the ball through the centre. He likes to beat the offside trap, and he tries first time shots, which are they're traits that I do like seeing in a striker. I'd like if he hit his shots with power as well. Can we get that trained into him? Panovic is going to say no. Blast the ball. Did it. Insert Emperor Palpatine meme. Yeah, I mean, it begs the question: if Matty Phaeton played more, could he do well? Could he be the one that can outperform? Luis Enrique is quite down there. He's played a lot of minutes, but he doesn't get a lot of shots off per 90, 1.14. I think when he's playing for our team, he'll definitely get a few more shots off. So he is absolutely going to come in. I thought Odera had a shot then. And yeah, let me know what you think. Who are you guys thinking should come into the team or who should play? The fact that Durame has got 7 goals and has played what nearly double the minutes of Phaeton, but the shots per 90 is quite the same. It's so maybe then we keep it as that for the time being, and maybe Matty Phaeton comes in on the wing. We saw that his key passes was quite good. Let's just add key passes as a sum of his key passes per 90 into here. So Phaeton, key passes per 90, 1.97. Arnold Danjuma, key passes is 3.18. But again, he's played more minutes. I am tempted in the next game, although it's PSG, bear with me, I'm tempted in the next game to play Phaeton as an inside forward. Again, where is Matthias Phaeton? They think his role in GT is best suited for an inside forward, and I agree. I actually agree. Can we start trading him up as an inside forward? Maybe Phaeton's the answer. He's doing well in training as well. Yeah, it's a really strange one. I think, again, we're not looking at defence. I think defence is absolutely fine. I think the only other option now is the central midfield, just the central midfield in general. So if we remove this, summer minutes versus, let's do passes completed per 90. Let's see how this looks. We want to remove that average line, sum of minutes to passes completed per 90. And let's just make that a so actually 49.6. Let's just do it as decimals because it works out better. So 0.0 versus 50.0. And it should be able to give us a better average then. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Lovely. Plancon we go again. So, most minutes. Fausto Vera completes the most passes, but his key passes is shite. Look at that compared to Monchi, which is why Vera's been ousted from the team, really. It's a really strange one. Abdul Banogo and Papagay are both out on loan. Kalidou Sidibe is completing more passes, but his key passes aren't as much. Kalidou Sidibe is that absolute 6'7" unit CDM. That has actually played a few games, to be honest. He's got really good traits too. He plays 1-2s, moves the ball to his right foot, but he attempts to avoid using his weaker foot, which is a little bit annoying. He performs quite well. We've been playing Vera in the ball and a midfielder role just to see if that's sort of the position for him. The only other thing we could do with Vera, although Zucore has come in and he's a wonderful, wonderful player, is play Fausto Vera as a Metzala, so not quite a box to box midfielder in the mold of Ducore, but considering that he completes a lot of passes, he's got very good attributes, he's got very good traits. If we can get him playing further up, because again, defensively, I think we're fine. Again, let's just click on Ducore. So a box to box is non-stop dynamism. They push forward, they surge late into the box, get on the end of crosses and pullbacks. They're meant to harry attacking midfielders and protect the defensive line. Well, we've got a DM with ball winners, so we don't really need a box to box. If we then look at the Metzala, so it's a modern interpretation of the Metzala. So Metzala was a coin phrased, I believe, in the 70s in Italy, and it was about like the great Sampdoria teams and whatnot and how they used to play. But basically, it's a central player that just tries to operate in half spaces. It's basically a central half winger who likes to do his defending slightly higher up the field, although he does generally have less defensive responsibility. I think we can operate with a Metzala, and if we drop Ducore entirely and pop Sidibe back in, we've got a man in Sidibe. He's 6'7", so he doesn't lose a header, and he's got 17 jumping, reaching, 15 heading. He's a threat going forward. He's got good traits and good attributes, and then pushes Vera higher up the pitch. Vera also has a trait, if you didn't notice it, that he likes to switch the ball to the wide areas. You think of the way Liverpool operate. I know they're doing horrendously this season. But you think of the way they operate, and they switch the ball wide an awful lot. I'm just thinking if Vera's operating in the half space, he'll operate around these positions, while Danjuma and Tovan will sort of play in and around Schick. It allows Emerson to be free. So if Vera's operating in this half space and he switches it across there, Emerson's got a ball into potentially three players. And this, I think this is what we're going to go with. And I think this is how we're going to change the tactic and hopefully create some more chances for ourselves. You can see again from the table that Fausto Vera is a creative player. He completes a lot of passes per 90 minutes. You look at Ducore, 31 passes. Vera is 49 passes. Key passes aren't as high, but obviously Vera's been playing in a deeper role. He's not been playing to the extent that Monchi can play that deeper role too. So that's the interesting thing again about it is I think Vera playing as a Metzala could potentially open up a few more opportunities for us. Um, is there anything else you want to take a little look at? If we change the key passes, let's remove that and let's make it assists per 90 minutes then. And we want to remove our average line. 0.5. Okay, we don't need to change that then. And it's 0.0. And we're going to pop our average line back in. Okay, so back in we go. I love it. I love it. This is why we love Tableau, and this is why I'm banging on the drum that Stein Kelsen is a very underrated member of the football manager community. As I say, he's reaching out into YouTube, which is brilliant for everyone. He could be massive. But again, let's just take a little look at this. We're gonna so this is the assists per 90 minutes versus minutes. You can see again, Ducore is down there, whereas Fausto Vera is a little bit higher up. Jonathan Bamba, Adam Morisic has literally played one game, or two games, two 90-minute games, and they're both in the cup. Monchi, league of his own. He is really in a league of his own. Malang Sarr, interestingly, is performing above average when it comes to assists. More so than Gideon Mensah's counterpart. Gideon Mensah's played a lot more minutes as a wing back, whereas Malang Sarr's been playing as a centre back most of the season. Very interesting. Emerson is a league of their own. Oh, we actually signed Emerson. Where is he, me boy? He was on loan from Barcelona. We had a little scout of him. Look at him. Look at him. He's fantastic. Yeah, £11 million in January. I snapped his hand off. Snapped her hand off for £11 million. I thought that was a snip for a player that's 24 years of age and is performing that well. So yeah, I think for the PSG game then, do we put Durame back in? Danjuma's a good player. Assists. Jonathan Bamba's got more assists than you can see Danjuma down here. He's got one assist. 0.23, 0.09. I think we'll maybe play Bamba. I could sit here for hours doing this stuff. I really could. Let's play Bamba. Okay, this is how we're going to line up against PSG then. Schick, Bamba, Tovan Vera, Monchi, Sidibe, Mensa or Salah? He's just a better defender as well, Sarr, isn't he? Okay, this is how we line up against PSG then. And we've done that because we like playing on the front foot. And obviously Malang Sarr he is a defensive player first and foremost, but he seems to be better on the front foot than Gideon Mensah, although Gideon Mensah has been fantastic this season. He's not put a foot wrong. I can't really complain. He was brought in for cheap. He's probably not going to be the starting left back next year with Luca Netz coming in, but he's a fantastic backup option off the bench. Um, yeah, I think we go for that with Malang Sarr playing. Steve can then be the focal point off corners. I think he's going to score one off the corners. Sidibe attack. DM, you go there. You mark the goalkeeper. Left attack. DM, you go there. And then if we do the throw-ins, because we do the long throw-ins. We changed that for that. How's about that then? Maybe we do that, and then that frees up. Schick. Yeah, I think that's how we try and beat the almighty PSG. But yeah, that's it. I mean, look at this. Look at that. I'll just show you PSG. They're ridiculous. They are ridiculous. At one point, we closed the gap. They were on something like 49 points, and I think we got it to 41. And then obviously you can see we had a bit of a shocker. Get on this. They are just ridiculous. Haaland, Neymar, Mbappe, Soler, Verratti, Neves, Bernat, Kimpembe, Elvede, Dodo, and Navas. Tagliafico, Sabitzer, Depay, Nordi Mukiele on the bench, Benassa, Hakim Ziyech, Yuri Tielemans, Isco, Marquinhos, Danilo Pereira. They've just got a ridiculous team. But these are the guys that we need to try and overcome. But I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you stuck it all the way through to the end, hopefully you agree with the decisions I've made in this video. If not, please let me know. If you do, then great, lovely stuff. We're all having a great time. Once again, thank you for the support. Really, really, really do appreciate it. I'm really enjoying these videos. Please show your support to the man who inspired this series in Stein Kelson. Please give his YouTube channel a follow. Please follow his blog. I've already got a link to the blog in the description. We will pop down the link to the video in the description too. And as always, please take care and stay safe.